Hello and welcome to a very special episode of MB Cast. We have a very special guest with us today. Well,
that's
two,
right.
A
couple special
your
guests.
resident, not host of this podcast, Mike Kane, back in action.
Yeah. But that's not all.
Well, we also have myself and Ray, as always.
And entering the podcast arena for the very first time, hailing from somewhere in New Jersey. They call him the man, the myth, the legend. That's right, the
Stormbringer.
The meteorologist with the most, Charles, or Chuck, Caracosa.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Chuck.
Woo, 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 woo.
That's right, when we talk about bringing the rain, this is the guy right here.
This is it.
So,
Where we starting off in this?
I don't know.
This train wreck.
I suppose let's just dive into what we just watched.
Oh boy. Okay.
Let's just dive in because I want it fresh. I don't want it lost on anyone.
That's fair.
You know.
That's fair. Yeah.
Okay. Mike, why don't you take us away? You're very good at these, I feel.
Well, it's a hard thing to describe what we saw. We watched the Eye for an Eye match with Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins, and boy, was that uncomfortable pretty much the whole way through, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That was
Yep.
That was not fun. And then I guess so Seth Rollins, right? He takes towards we're just gonna jump right to the end. They keep smacking each other's eyes into stuff, and it's not cool. But then we get to the end, and Seth Rollins, he takes Rey Mysterio and kind of looks like he drives his eye into the corner of a steel step. And then Rey Mysterio comes up after a very careful camera shot, holding his face, and he's like, "Oh man, my face, oh no."
It's out.
And then we get just a glimpse, just a peep, of what looks like maybe the bottom half of a grape painted white with like a little black on it, and some red liquid coming out of Rey Mysterio's face, and we're supposed to believe this is Rey's eye.
It looked like one of those jelly eyes.
Yeah, like it was not a very good
I thought it looked like
prosthetic.
just like a straight up ping pong ball. I didn't think it looked slimy at all. I thought it looked matte.
Whatever it was offensive to pretty much every one of my senses.
I mean, I was hoping for more, but I guess when kids are still watching it, I can't hope for much.
Why do this at all? Like, this was
Yeah, I was expecting the cheesy 80s, like
they built it up as such a gimmick match, and
the veins coming out at the end.
Hold on, wait! I forgot too. Immediately after it happens, the arena goes silent. You could hear a pin fall in another building.
Yeah,
and then Seth Rollins profusely vomits.
That was good.
Oh yeah,
that was good.
Being able to hurl on command is pretty impressive. I don't know how people do that.
Well, what if it wasn't on command? What if, like, behind the scenes he stood there for like 10 minutes, forcing his fingers down his throat?
I don't think so. I think they cut the camera, gave him something to chew on, and then
or maybe they
just spit it
wasn't enough
white
bread.
It wasn't enough vomit or liquid to be actual. Like, he didn't puke. He chewed something up and spit it out.
You think?
Yeah, for sure. If you go back and watch,
maybe
you can tell.
like some oatmeal or something.
Yeah, it's not even like fully digested, right? Like, it was in his mouth for maybe 10 seconds, and then he.
So we said we were going to go back and find out what the context on this was, but we didn't. I still don't understand.
Chuck, do you remember at least a little bit of context of how Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio got here before we stopped watching wrestling full time?
Well, yeah, it goes back to the Money in the Bank match all the way there. And then it basically, he was, as you move forward a couple episodes, he was, basically just, he shoved his Rey Mysterio's face into the steps.
Oh, just like he did during that other match just now.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
And then it was a big back and forth with his son and Seth Rollins as well.
Oh, Rey Mysterio's son got involved too, apparently.
Oh,
You heard it here first. For
now it makes sense.
The guy who's been slightly keeping up with wrestling during our hiatus.
It's perfect. That's exactly what we needed.
And then the other one we watched, because honestly, that was just so underwhelming. I can't even say much more about it because I really wished
it was one of
we
those.
had gotten. I wanted to see more. I wanted to see a hanging eyeball by a veiny thread, man.
Yeah, that's what I was picturing.
That's what I wanted, but I didn't get that.
It was
get that at all.
It was like
sad.
it was a cringe factor 10 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then the result was absolutely like just childish and not.
It
just wasn't.
And then
good.
all of a sudden, like everyone went from being silent to like everyone in the arena looked at Seth at once.
Oh, they started
banging on the glass at him, and it was like it turned into like some real zombie
Rollins.
horror movie shit.
Why didn't you let your eye get taken out?
Yeah, man, how
Right.
dare you do the
Right.
thing that was the objective of the match explicitly?
The other match we watched, though, because for some reason I thought this was a good idea, was the Braun Strowman verse.
Well, okay, hold on. I don't. So yeah. So the Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt match, right?
Yeah.
It was another one of those these.
Again, we have no context building up to this. I mean, Chuck. I'm sure Chuck has maybe some remembrance of where. I mean, it started a real long time ago
this one was a while ago.
with him.
I don't think you need context. It's just
when Braun Strowman first joined the WWE.
Right, he was one of Bray's original like cult members, and then he broke free of the mind washing. Apparently,
I got that vibe.
And
by the way, he kept telling him to come home.
And then he went off and turned into a Duck Dynasty character. And now he's come back to the swamp.
That's like new. That's very new. And the homeboy look on him. That's something I hadn't seen yet, honestly.
It's very strange.
So now he's come back to the swamp because, like any good ogre, he wants his possessions back. And, the beginning of it's one of these new cinematic matches that the WWE's been playing with that have been pretty fun. The Undertaker one is still by far the top tier.
And this one wasn't not fun. It definitely was fun. Don't get us wrong.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, hold on.
We'll get to the fun part.
And so you get this kind of weird, very surreal thing where Braun is like fighting through the swamp and he's just beating up these random no-face goons.
Literally they didn't have any faces. Their faces were covered.
Yeah, so then I think he gets smacked by a shovel from off camera, right? And then he wakes up tied up in a chair, and we get a nice little
chained up. He had chains.
Well, yeah, it's everybody knows ogres are weakened by cold steel, so so bound with chains, and then so they do this little back and forth, and Bray's all like, "Oh, I stuffed the monster back down, and I'm not giving him back control. I ain't going back to prison, mama." And spoiler alert, he might be, and then. And then Alexa Bliss showed up,
yeah, she did,
as some kind of weird genjutsu illusion magic.
I'm telling you, people online are speculating Sister Abigail.
Well,
shit.
I mean, maybe
I know it wasn't outright stated like I thought it was gonna be.
Maybe it was Sister Abigail manifesting the image of Alexa to tempt what's his face.
Alexa was ringside at Nikki Cross's match earlier in that pay-per-view. We saw her in the arena,
Right, because we were watching a live feed of the swamp.
Well, no, but you know what I'm saying. Like the kind of shit that they build is like it's all taking place that night. You know?
I know. But
so,
then
it's definitely. I think it's definitely that was like a vision of her, not the real thing.
So Braun's like, no, I'll never work for you again. You're such a mean cult leader. And I'm an ogre, and I just want to be alone and free.
Give me back my swamp.
Right, let me have the swamp. You have everything else. And then, so not like it's not a lot of match happens. Like they fight a little bit, and
right.
Right.
He did throw that guy in the fire.
Oh yeah,
Braun did best part.
Into a fire.
That was the best part.
And then
that
his
man lit on fire.
Lit up like someone had sprayed him down with Axe body spray prior.
Right.
And instead of stop, drop, and rolling like we all learned in first grade,
right?
This man just runs through the bog
in circles.
Runs through the bog,
flailing his arms around.
Chuck, do you have any input on any of these events during this match? Let's hear from the guy himself.
Well, I think it was kind of overdone, so to speak, as far as the fire and the the stuff like that, but just very theatrical, so to speak.
Chuck's not into the theatrical matches.
Hell yeah, he wants his serious ass wrestling.
Right.
This is interesting.
This
is an interesting take on this.
Just two oiled up meaty men going at it in a ring.
This is an interesting take on this because we haven't heard this take yet. Chuck, have you felt this way about all the theatrical matches we've seen so far since in the COVID era of WWE?
No, I think some of them were well done, but I think these two here were just a little over the top.
You didn't think the Money in the Bank ladder match was maybe a little over the top?
Well, yeah, it was a little.
It was, but I kind of agree that it was over the top in a different way.
It was over the top in like a fun and campy way.
Yeah, it was on purpose. They did it on purpose. This was over the top in a way
this felt like I was watching a drama.
Yeah, but both of these matches were supposed to be super serious, high stakes, like spooky things, and they just kind of weren't.
They weren't.
I think that was the biggest problem with.
Middle of July?
I think what Mike just described was the biggest problem with John Cena and Bray Wyatt's match at WrestleMania as well. They tried. Well, they didn't take it too seriously, but there were some points where they did, and it kind of it overshadowed
if you bring that
the
match
good
up,
parts.
then you bring me to the next point I want to make. Right, the ending of the Cena Wyatt match at the Money in the Bank was very good. Banishing John Cena to the Shadow Realm like Yu-Gi-Oh is like that was a really. That was a little chef's kiss on the end of that performance.
There were some really good parts in that. I agree.
The end of this match, this is the biggest redeeming quality of it for me because they really decided to commit. Braun throws Bray into the water.
He Spartan kicks him, man.
Oh
he
yeah.
Kicks him.
Yeah.
Through a wooden railing into the bog.
Right, and Bray disappears beneath the surface, and we're like, oh, okay. And then Braun, for some inexplicable reason, goes to the edge and gets down and is looking in the water, and you're just like,
he does something that all teenage girls do in horror movies.
Right, something's gonna happen. But he actually says the words, "It's over," and you get the little WWE symbol in the bottom of the corner, and they start to roll the credits.
Right, which means it's usually over. The pay-per-view is done.
Right, but then we keep getting flashes back to these clips of Braun looking in the water. And it's like, this doesn't, something's
doesn't feel right. Over.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel over, yeah.
And then, fucking Shamu from the depths, Bray Wyatt just pops up and grabs Braun by his big dumb beard. Yanks him.
I thought he put his hand in his mouth.
He shoved his fist
grabbed him by the mouth,
and he grabs him by the lower jaw.
Yeah, he pulled him by the jaw.
Ugh, that's way worse.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
That
gross.
was. Do you remember the name of that move? That was the
mandible
Fiend's move.
His swampy
called?
hand right into his
claw, I
mouth.
think.
The mandible claw.
So he yanks him in, and we're like, oh, okay, well, that was some real Freddy
Now
vs.
it's
Jason
over.
stuff. Yeah, all right. You know, good job. End of movie, right?
Until the swamp turns into a hot tub.
Yes, somebody turned on the jets. And then,
added in the red food code.
And then we get Bray popping up out of the water, suddenly like, oh no, I need help. And we're like, what? Wait a minute, but Bray, you yanked in Braun. That doesn't make sense. And then, what do we get at the end of the match? But a nice, long, close-up shot on the face of the Fiend, returned from the depths of Bray Wyatt's mind. Because, I don't know.
He had to escape. He had to get
'Cause he
back
just
out
killed
and
a
take
man.
control. I hope it's the return of the Firefly Funhouse, because them deciding to stop all that was probably the biggest mistake they've ever made.
Okay.
You know, that's a really big sentence for you to have just said. The biggest mistake that the WWE ever made.
Okay,
Not that
sorry.
time they left all their superstars in like a
Storytelling wise, it is the
dictatorship
dumbest
country.
thing they could have done for Bray Wyatt's character in particular. Happy? Is that better?
Yes, significant. Because, I mean, come on, man. Like, you know.
I realized it after I said it, but I wanted you to get it out of your system. I let you do your thing.
That's why we have Nick on here, is for those big blanket statements.
Right. Yeah. Perfect. Wonderful.
They're great.
Sweeping generalities everywhere you look.
Yeah. Just spewing shit he doesn't mean. What's next on the agenda?
Well, folks, that's been a great episode of MB Cast. No, I'm just kidding.
I wanted to discuss some Xbox real quick before Mike had to get moving.
Oh,
Sure,
goodness.
Sure.
All
You
right,
know,
we gotta
like-
we gotta talk about Halo. We gotta talk about Halo right off the jump.
Yeah, obviously.
Dude.
They started with Halo, so you know what? We'll start with Halo.
Dude, it looks not good to me. I know
It looks
this is
like
divisive.
It looks like Fortnite.
I do not
the
like
way they
Really?
explode in all the colors and Splatoon paint.
I do not like the graphical style so far. It is a very weird direction for them to have gone, and I think a major mistake.
I feel like they're trying to dumb their own graphics down so it's not too hyper realistic. I think they're trying to make a feel of the original Halo with the lighter colors and if you go back
and the bad textures, because it just straight up is
but
not good.
that's what a lot of hardcore Halo fans, like my cousin Billy, he enjoys the original textures of the original games more than the new ones.
This doesn't look like the original. Like, we're playing the original. We're playing it on Master Chief Collection or whatever the fuck.
I understand,
And you
but
can
like
switch back and
I
forth.
talked to him about this, and he agreed with me that it looks better than Halo 4 or 5 have in the last.
I don't know. I can't say anything about that.
Right, exactly.
But while we're playing it, you could switch between like original graphics and like the updated like whatever edition new overlay graphics, and this looks more like the updated version than it does like anywhere near like original. It doesn't look like original Halo. You can't tell me it looks anything like the blocky, textureless goodness of the original Halo.
I'm not saying it does, but it looks more like it than what it has in the past few years.
I don't.
You haven't played the game, so you can't tell me it's not.
They sat on this footage for so long. We heard about Halo Infinite or Infinity, whatever it's called, for like a long time, and then when they finally decide to display it, they give us this old build, because I did see that came out after too, that it was like an old build of the game they were showing footage from,
Right, yeah.
So I guess we don't actually know what it looks like, but that I just feel like that was a very weird choice to go with for that initial debut. Like, I would think you'd want to put your best foot forward, not like, hey, this is like the pre-alpha
This is what the game looked like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Probably longer than that, Ray, honestly. It was not a fully polished demo either, which is another...
There was
I think I more enjoyed... I don't... Like, a video game for me, graphic-wise, they are starting all to blend together, and I don't... Like, graphically, I don't give a shit anymore. Like, if the game plays well and I have fun with it, that's what I give a shit about. Like, you can complain about graphics all fucking day, but I don't care about that. I just want to play a franchise I've loved for the last 20 years of my life. And that's not a crime, I don't think.
No, I'm not saying it is, man. Not at all.
Oh, no, I'm not saying you guys were. I'm just... To the gaming community as a whole, like...
So...
Holy shit, man.
Well...
They're never happy with anything,
all the communities
ever.
are toxic.
They're just never happy.
What's also weird is they want this to be... They're trying to make this like game as a service game, because they're talking about this being, quote, the platform for the next 10 years of Halo. Like, they're not looking to continue releasing new installments anymore, I don't think. They want to do this almost like you would with, like, a Destiny or, like, an MMO, which is, like, I don't understand how that's going to work exactly, you know what I mean?
It's like DLC constantly instead of new games.
I don't know. They haven't really, like, expounded.
I think maybe main campaign parts could take place with like Master Chief himself, or maybe they bring some other Spartans in eventually for other stories or other perspectives, and then maybe they add in a thing where you build your own Spartan, like you build your own Guardian in Destiny, and then there's some fucking deep lore missions or shit you can go and do with your own Spartan. I don't know. I think it's an interesting step in a direction. Not saying good or bad. I'm saying I'm going to be there for it, and I'm going to play it and see what happens.
Well, we're definitely going to play it because all the games that were announced during this, whatever they call it, are going to be available on Game Pass.
Which,
that's super tight.
That was the craziest thing to hear.
That's so fucking clutch.
I want to hear Mike's opinion on all of this real quick, because I know he's got opinions on it.
Man...
Especially coming as a Sony fanboy, I know he's got something to say about this right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's crazy what Microsoft is doing with the Ultimate Game Pass, and I'm not sure what Sony's answer to that is, because I guess the answer would probably be like PlayStation Now, and on the PS4, PlayStation Now is like fine. It works. You can stream a bunch of games essentially, and like they do put some of the newer release stuff on there. I don't know, it's like $20 a month, but the expansive amount of titles that they're doing for the Xbox is insane. Also, just to touch on what the Xbox really is for a minute, you're basically buying a computer. Like, when you look at what's in it, when you look at the case itself, it literally looks like a desktop tower PC.
Yeah.
Which is a choice, you know. I mean, the PlayStation 5 looks like a spaceship, so that's also a choice.
Some people say a modem.
Yeah, you could call it that, I guess. But, like, so I'm just going to rattle off some of these games that they showed real quick. There's a new Fable that's coming.
Fuck yeah.
Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2.
Oh, yeah.
Avowed, the next Obsidian game. I really hope that's
Looks
not just an Xbox exclusive.
I think they said that one was an Xbox launch exclusive, which means it'll eventually come to other systems, just not right away.
Right.
They're building it for the Xbox first, is basically what it is.
Yeah, I may actually end up, I don't know, like, I may eventually pick up both.
Sending shivers down my spine.
Well, primarily because the other thing they showed was State of Decay 3, and I really enjoy the State of Decay games.
I forgot you're a big fan of that series. I forgot.
I hate...
You were a big fan of the first one, at least. You played the first one when you had a 360.
Yeah, and I've played some of the second one, too, and it's pretty good.
On what? When you had an Xbox One?
No, man, I've played it, like, at other people's homes, and, you know...
Is that Fallout-looking thing?
No, it was the one they showed where, like, there was like a zombie deer or something.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
No, the Fallout-looking one was the, that's Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
Outer Worlds is what...
else
That game is already out. We can download that now on Xbox Game Pass.
That's an expansion for Outer Worlds. It looks pretty interesting.
We can download that now on Xbox Games Pass, right? I have it already. So if you wanted to try that for the channel, we could.
Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis.
That's pretty insane.
I know some people are really excited for that.
Because Phantasy Star Online, how long has that been around now? Like 10, 15 years?
They've
just been coasting on that?
Man. A long time. They've had a few games.
It's crazy.
But, one I was really excited about that I saw, they showed a Medium.
That looked cool. That looked very cool.
Yeah, it did. That seems very interesting.
I told Ray that might be one of the only horror games we ever do on our channel, because...
That's not true. We gotta do the Blair Witch Project.
Oh,
we
God.
I'm just not a fan of the
Spooky Boys.
Neither am I, but we gotta do them.
Alright.
They're doing a new Tetris. I guess that gets some people going still.
Whatever.
Fucking Stalker 2. Like...
Yeah, but it looked really interesting, but I didn't know there was a Stalker 1, you know?
You don't know about Stalker, man?
No, wait! Oh my god, we have someone that knows! Can you enlighten us, dude? Holy shit,
oh
please.
My god. So Stalker is this crazy post-apocalyptic, like, survival open-world RPG. And you're out in this area of Russia called the Exclusion Zone, out near like Chernobyl, and there's all these crazy like mutated monsters and stuff, and it's like super gritty and like grim dark, and there's all these like weird
anomalies.
Yeah, like really weird, like super horror, creature things.
I'm looking at some of these creatures. They're nasty.
Yeah.
You looked up the original Stalker? I didn't want to look it up just in case we played it.
There's like a guy with like a Cthulhu face.
Yeah,
it is
wild.
An old lady, a fat old lady that's like also a zombie.
Oh boy.
Stalker was a lot of fun, and I
wonder if I can get the original Stalker on Games Pass.
It's been
a lot of the games that they announced on Games or announced in general, they have like the predecessors of on Games Pass already.
Like Psychonauts 2, that's another one.
I'm pretty sure the original is on, for example, Game Pass. Yeah, it's just nuts the amount of. It's kind of like hey, we put all this stuff on Game Pass because maybe you should check it out because maybe we got more coming. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take a look at whatever they put on Games Pass from now on with a little bit of a different light, I think now. And obviously you shouldn't take everything they put up and be like, oh, a new one of those is coming, but it's nice to imagine.
It's possible.
And then,
it's possible.
Nick, I know you and I are both probably pretty excited about all that new Destiny footage they showed as well.
Oh, yeah. Dude, of course. Absolutely.
Yeah, we got the first look at stasis powers finally, and the thing that was really mind-blowing for me was it looks like you're going to have the ability to form these platform pillars of ice, just on the map, and I can only imagine the havoc that the player base is going to figure out how to wreak the second that those things are available in the game. You've got people... on those those raid secret subreddits and stuff who already like figure out how to, clip through walls and like break boundaries and stuff to try and find like hidden things. When you start giving them like platforms to just be able to bypass like maybe whatever your intended route on stuff is. I mean, I'm sure they take that into consideration, but
entire
it is going
jump
to be
puzzles,
buck wild.
potentially, dude. You might be able to potentially jump entire like jump puzzles and shit, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Like just cheese them.
They're going a really fun direction. It seems like with Destiny. I can't wait to see what happens with Beyond Light.
Well, I watched a video this morning on YouTube by Professor Broman, and he was like throwing out some.
Hold on.
Theories.
Where did he get his credentials? What university did Professor Broman graduate? We need to verify the veracity of your sources, man. Come on.
No, he was just giving his opinion. He thought maybe that the stasis stuff could be like on. It's like you throw down one of those walls or platforms, and it's not like there, but like it's not there permanently. You know, like it'll be there, but you only got a certain amount of time to use it before
I'm sure
crumbles away.
But that doesn't. People will figure out how to abuse the mechanic. Like you.
Right. But no, he was also saying like how there might be like they might edit those turn back kill zones.
Mm-hmm.
So that, like, if someone attempts to go somewhere with it where they're not supposed to, it'll just blink, turn back, and then, that'll be that.
Well,
can't do that,
I'm excited to see what happens. Destiny is in a really fun place right now, and it seems to be...
honestly, I feel like it'll be more fun than that. I feel like, obviously, they're not going to stay around permanently or whatever. Like, once you use it, the wall won't be there forever. But, like, I think I agree with you when you say they're going in a more fun direction where you'll be able to traverse in more interesting ways and, maybe cheese some jump puzzles at times where you weren't able to before. Yeah. Fun stuff.
Chuck, are there any games that you're particularly excited about?
Yeah, it's. I've been playing I'm a Nintendo kind of guy.
Hell yeah!
So I've been playing the new Paper Mario game here for the past week or so, week and a half, and it's those kind of things that I enjoy.
What did you beat before Paper Mario?
Before Paper Mario, I beat Luigi's Mansion and Link's Awakening, the remake there for the Switch.
He has been tanking through these games. Didn't you just beat the original Legend of Zelda that they released for the NES download thing?
Yeah, I played through that as well. That took about a month to go through.
Yeah.
Dang.
He gets a game done in about a month.
That's
usually.
wild.
He really cranks them out.
I'm excited about Grounded.
Oh yeah, good. That looked interesting.
People were saying that could be the next Minecraft by Microsoft here. Like, people could get addicted to it in the same way people did Minecraft, and it'll just take off on its own.
I don't think it's quite as aesthetic as Minecraft.
No, but
I get the idea.
Killing giant bugs all day ain't something, like, to be overlooked. I think a lot of people want to do... Like, a lot of people have had... like this exact gameplay fantasy that they've wanted to like live out for a long time.
Well, yeah, it's fucking Honey That Shrunk the Kids.
They're handing it to us on a silver platter, man.
It's great. There's probably like an old Game Boy Honey I Shrunk the Kids game.
Well, yeah, of course. They're definitely. I guarantee there was a game or something of it at one time.
And it was
probably amazing.
No, it was probably a garbage 2D platformer that was way too hard.
Right. Wow, it's fucking great.
Man.
That's the pinnacle of gaming.
Did you guys ever have the mortal displeasure of playing the Jurassic Park game that was on the Sega Genesis?
No. I can't. None of us have ever owned Segas, not even Chuck. Chuck was a Nintendo guy even back then.
They might have released it back on the NES back in the day too. I'm not sure, but I know that it was the most brutally difficult like platformer game that I think I've probably ever played. It was
if it was on the Genesis, it was probably also on like PlayStation 1 or something. If my timelines are correct.
I love those kids' games that were just incredibly hard. There was a Toy Story game like that too.
Because was the Genesis disc?
No, it was
cartridge. Oh, no?
Man.
Oh, what am I thinking of? Dreamcast?
Yeah, probably. Although, hell, the Dreamcast was a hell of a system. It was way ahead of its time. I know we're getting a little off topic here, but the Dreamcast is a highly underrated piece of machinery. That was the first console that really had like viable online connectivity and multiplayer.
Yeah,
and it was beautifully done.
Paved the way for a lot of shit, man.
Have we talked about the Power Stone games on here before? I know we've talked about it, like, in life, but...
I think so.
Did you guys have a Dreamcast ever?
No. I'm telling you, you're the only one with Sega consoles. Chuck had the original Sega, right?
Yeah, I had the original Genesis.
After that,
if you have a little bit of disposable income, you should do yourself a favor and see if you can find, like, online...
They haven't re-released them anywhere?
What?
They gotta be on, like, PC or something at this point. Like, there's no way the only way to play these things is to buy...
I mean, of course you can get, like, emulators and stuff, but I'm just saying in general, like, you can buy Sega Dreamcasts that come with, like, these preloaded chips now that basically have the entire, like, game library of the Dreamcast on them.
Yes.
Sick.
Yeah, I would recommend checking
Chinese
something like
and
that
Japanese
out.
bootleg systems.
Because really, there is just some real bangers on there. The Power Stone games in particular, but like, there was a bunch of stuff on the Dreamcast that was just nuts and so fun.
Yeah, I see a bunch of those bootleg systems on like eBay with all the games included in it, you know.
Oh yeah.
Or like a hacked 360.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
but it always like ships from China and takes like 3 months to get here, so
nothing wrong with that.
No, it's just I like my self-gratification right now.
Jesus Christ.
I don't want to wait 3 months. I'm an American.
You've never ordered anything from China?
No, I have. Obviously, I've waited for stuff, but I'm just messing around.
Oh, okay.
Wait, before we get off the video games real quick, I wanted to get Chuck's opinion on the new Halo, coming from someone that has only really watched Halo from the outside since like Halo 2 or 3, has not really gotten his hands on one of the newer Halo games or played anything. I just want to get his opinion on how the new one looks and like, you know, what he thinks of it as someone from the outside, basically.
Well, it looks good, you know, as far as the graphics are concerned and stuff. As far as the storyline, I kind of got out of it, other than the beginning, you know, ones. But as far as outside of anything of that, in general, I think it looks pretty good.
All right. Yeah, I kind of forgot he didn't have much context for anything in that preview, so...
Yeah, you don't.
Well, I guess neither do you two, because... Well, Mike, did you play 4 or 5?
Yeah, I definitely played through Halo 4. That was the one with the Forerunner dudes, right? The Proteans or something like that.
Yeah. Atriox or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, but it introduced like those robot dudes with the orange goop.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember if I played 5 or not. Which I guess should tell you something about the writing
in 5,
quality.
Master Chief is being hunted down by another Spartan.
Yes, yeah, you and I did definitely play that because I remember that.
Oh, it was probably on one of your visits, or maybe right before you moved back to Jersey or something. It was right around then. So.
Yeah, something like that. It was wild. I mean, I don't think 4 and 5 were bad games, but I think just like, I think when you're looking at long-running franchises and stuff that do successfully, there is a certain level of like reinvention that happens over time, where maybe the core concept of the game does not change. Like you look at the COD games, right? COD is pretty much always the same game, but they still sell a gajillion copies every single time that it comes out, and they're usually at least moderately well reviewed, if not pretty decently. Because they do something to keep it like fresh and innovative, and I think they tried to do that with Halo,
right?
But I think it fell flat in a couple places, and I also think the story writing just got so into the weeds. Like it went way in a weird direction. The whole Cortana becoming like a homicidal super AI thing.
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
Ray didn't know. It was supposed to be a surprise for our playthrough.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know this was supposed to be.
Yeah, I should have said something before we started this conversation, honestly.
Yeah, it really
Were we playing through all of them?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, it's fun to experience the story, but... And now that we've said all these derogatory things about the well-liked Halo series, we're probably going to have to kick it to like an advertiser break in order to recoup some of the lost funding.
Too bad we have 0 sponsors.
Big Daddy Bill
Get
Gates
at me.
is going to come in.
Get at me, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Goop. We want a sponsor.
We want a sponsorship.
Maybe you can just start
Help us,
playing
Goop. Help us.
The money in the bank sound right here, and we can just kind of fade into that, so when you come back on the other side and I'm gone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
perfect. Well, thanks for coming and hanging out, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for joining us for now, Mikey.
My pleasure.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Go enjoy your dinner.
Get out of here.
Yeah. All right, are we gonna stop the recording?
No, you're just gonna leave.
You're just getting out of here.
You're just getting out.
You guys are just gonna keep going, huh?
We're just gonna roll on right through.
You're gonna roll right over it.
All right, I guess I'll just hang up the Skype call then and stop my recording, and I'll email that off to you.
Yeah.
Are we playing Destiny later on a totally unrelated and unprofessionally podcasting note?
No, probably tomorrow, dog.
Alright, no worries. Hit me up.
Alright, have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah, man.
Bye, Charles.
Bye.
He left. He's gone.
Are we alone now?
We're alone.
Are we alone now?
Well, no. There's still 3 of us, but we could talk shit about Mike now.
So much shit.
Oh my god. The
Like,
way he, has a girlfriend and stuff. Ugh.
and that one time where, he just was being Mike Kane. Oh.
Yep. All the time. Can't stand it.
Or how about that one time when he graduated and the whole class started chanting, "Who? Mike Kane! Who? Mike Kane!"
Did that really happen?
Yeah, that really happened. I was there for that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's a good story. That's a nice story.
It is a nice story.
Oh. Well, what else do you have on that kooky quacky list of yours?
Well, we're gonna let Chuck take it away here for a little bit with with some weather now. He's gonna. I asked him to think of some stuff to say, so hopefully, while we were talking about all that other stuff, that's exactly what he was doing. So, Chuck, take it away like you were taking it away for that that thing where you ended up on TV that one time.
Gotcha. Well, I'm going to use this here as a plug as a meteorologist, as we are in the middle of hurricane season.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, especially people that live along the coastal areas, is definitely a good time to prepare as we're approaching the peak of the season. And, things are starting to really heat up. In fact, just yesterday, Texas got hit with Hurricane Hannah. South Texas, that is. It was a Category 1 hurricane. Came ashore just south of Corpus Christi. So it was underwent a period of rapid intensification there, with a jump from a weak tropical storm to a strong Category 1, 90-mile-an-hour storm in a matter of like 24 hours. So,
dang, any damage or like flooding?
Yeah, there was some flooding. There was damage, wind damage and stuff in that area where it made landfall. Storm surge was big as well, and rainfall. It was a lot of rain. Some areas had like 16 inches of rain down there.
God damn. Wild. Well, hopefully everyone in Texas is doing all right. What is you got anything else for us? Is just Hurricane Hannah so far?
So far, there's some tropical waves we're watching in the far eastern Atlantic. That the one's a really big one that probably is going to develop into was it Isa something? It's the ice storm. So that's going to develop, and we're watching that as it moves westward. It's still too far out to tell where exactly it's going to go, but could be interesting 8 or 9 days from now.
Crazy. Can you tell us, because I feel like I've asked you this before, but obviously not on a podcast. Can you tell us, like, what the deal is with the naming system of hurricanes and, like, for anybody that doesn't know how that works?
Yeah, it's done through an organization. It's called the World Meteorological Organization, and they use this rotating list of names every 6 years. So the list of names that we're on now was used back in 2014. As you know, we had Hannah back then as well, and the other storms is also. But if a storm is really strong and creates a lot of damage, makes landfall, affects a lot of people, that name will get retired. And basically what will happen is the World Meteorological Organization will replace that with another name, pretty much.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, that was going to be my next question.
For example, Sandy has been retired.
Yeah,
so they had to replace it with a different S name.
Or Katrina, I'm sure, was retired.
Katrina was retired. Irma was retired.
Andrew.
Really?
Andrew. Dorian. Who else? What else?
And these are all since this is all within our lifetime here.
Yes, sir.
There are so many that have been retired, honestly. It's hard to remember them all.
Well, that's interesting as heck.
Yeah, man, yeah.
So far this season, we've had 7 named storms so far. So the next one would be the ice storm.
Already up to I.
That's crazy.
And another note here with the hurricane season is we have both the Atlantic and the Pacific as well. And there's actually a Category 1 hurricane, Hurricane Douglas, bearing down on Hawaii right now as we speak.
Whoa. When was the last time one was over in the Pacific?
Well, they have hurricanes in the Pacific regularly, but for Hawaii to get hit by this strong of a hurricane has not happened in a while.
Huh. Interesting stuff. And I don't know. I feel like I've had so many weather questions over the years, and now, when the time is right, I can't think of any.
Well, we can always have him back on for more weather questions and answers.
It's true. Hey, you know what? People out there that are listening, if there's anybody, if you want to hear some weather questions answered from Chuck, send them on into us. Through the comments.
Through Facebook?
Just the comments.
Just the
Use
comments.
Just the comments because no one else ever comments. So
That's
this
true.
is a good excuse for you to use that comment section for once in your goddamn life.
Let's start calling people out that we think might might do it.
Billy.
Jason. Aaron. Any girls? Do we have any female listeners? Kara.
Daff.
Alright, I think that's good. They know who they are.
They know who they are.
Kathy Lee.
Bob.
Bob, oh my god. The one true fan.
The one true fan.
Thanks, Bob. We appreciate
Thanks, Bob.
you.
We appreciate you so much. We're talking about getting some merch up for those that are also interested.
Yeah, probably.
If anyone. That's going to be happening soon. Moving on.
Maybe we'll make like a commercial for it.
For what?
Merch.
Yeah, we can, and then we'll upload it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Moving on.
It was gonna leave it recording for like 5 seconds. I have to pee so bad.
Oh yeah, dude, go for it. All right.
All right, I'll be right back.
Well, everybody, now that he's gone, let's discuss something else, Chuck. Like our next episode of MB Cast, which you're also going to guest star on. Surprise, you didn't even know. It's our Shark Week episode. That's right, we're going to do a Shark Week episode next week. We got Shark Week coming up on August 9th, for those that don't know. Us here at MB Cast and MB Gaming in general are huge fans of the Shark Week. Me and Chuck watch it every year. We have been for the last, I don't even know how long. Very, very long time. We're going to get into some shark news. We're going to have a Sharknado watch with our meteorologist, Chuck. We're going to have, we're going to talk about some of the funny Shark Week ads that they've been putting out and how excited we are for the programming that the ads are, advertising. With that, I believe Chuck is going to bow out of this particular episode of the podcast for now. So I would like to say thank you for having him on.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, and I look forward to being on in the future.
Yeah, well, next week.
Next week,
to be exact. But yes. We look forward to having you back, Charles. We're all excited. I think Ray's back now, Ray.
I'm back. I'm here.
Okay, we're all very excited to have Chuck back next week for our Shark Week episode.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. I was just telling the people about how many fun things we have planned for Shark Week.
Yeah, if you have any shark-related content you want to send
Shark-related. If you have shark-related content, yeah. Let us know in those comments.
Yeah, I want to see those comments blow up. We've asked for Fs in the chat a lot. We've never gotten any Fs in the chat.
Have we?
Yeah, I don't remember when or why. It could have been during the gaming channel. I don't know, but I know I've heard you say, "Let's get some Fs in the chat."
Damn, I want some Fs in this chat, man. Anyway, Chuck, again, thank you for joining us on this week's episode. We look forward to having you back next week. Hopefully, maybe we'll get Mike back as well. Trap him into another hour of Shark Talk. But, anything you want to add as a last-minute weather or hurricane season tip? Now's the time, buddy.
Yep, just if you're in a hurricane-prone area, just make sure to start preparing. And since I'll be on next week, we'll we'll see if that tropical wave does develop into a storm or a hurricane, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, we'll talk more weather next week, depending on how things develop and change. So yeah. Thanks,
Chuck.
Yep, no problem.
Right, you wanna kick us off on some animoo?
Now we're really alone.
I think we're alone now.
What do you want to talk about? What are we talking about first? Which one?
Around. I
think we should save My Hero for the end.
Why? I'm just curious.
Because it's gonna be more of like a conversation.
Okay.
Less of
okay.
me just
I
telling
forgot
you
had
about
like
this anime.
stuff. Yeah, I forgot you had stuff for it. Well, what were the other ones we were going to talk about? Because now I forget.
I'm gonna explain to you in detail the plot of Ouran High School Host Club.
Oh yes, I remember.
So, for those of you that don't know, Nick included, Ouran High School Host Club is like a slice of life anime. It's a bunch of rich kids in a very
keep talking. I'm gonna mute myself and I'm gonna get some water real fast, but I will be listening.
Alright. It's a hoity-toity private high school for rich people, and the first episode opens up with Haruhi, and I'm gonna refer to them as they. We're gonna get into that, but we're gonna be using they them pronouns for that character. So Haruhi is not particularly rich. They got in under scholarship. They're super smart. They got a dead mom, as most anime protagonists ought to do. Got that dead mom going. And they're just like wandering around the school looking for somewhere to study. They happen into this old music room that they think is abandoned, and it's actually the club room for the high school's host club. And what that means is it's a bunch of boys basically playing gigolo for the school's female population.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Okay, continue.
So there's a bunch of them. The charismatic blonde leader, the kid with glasses that like does all the behind the scenes shit, the tall stoic type, the very small looking like child-esque character who's actually like a senior in high school though, but like he carries around a stuffed animal and talks in a baby voice. And by far the most compelling characters in this anime have to be the set of twins that have homosexual tendencies towards each other. So, it's basically what they're doing is they're monopolizing on like a bunch of popular BL tropes. BL is a type of manga or manhwa or depending on the country.
Hold on, I just got back for real this time for like permanent.
Okay.
And there is so much to unpack in all of these characters you just described to me. I'm gonna have to put a full on pause here because I want to start with a little boy.
They refer to him as a Lolita type.
Baby voice.
They refer to him as a Lolita type. I don't know if you know what the movie Lolita is.
I do.
Yep. Okay.
And I know what it refers to nowadays, like as slang. And it's essentially jailbait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he. Okay. Well, first of all, I should start by saying that all of their tropes are like purposefully problematic. So we're gonna, we'll just put a cork in that.
What as like stuff to overcome as the show commences?
No, as like
that makes it so much worse.
So it's like their host club. So So their whole deal is they cater to female students. They're like companions.
Yes.
It's not like legit gigolo work. Like there's no sexual content. That's a different anime. That's called Yarichin Bitch Boo, and it's basically porn. It takes place in an all boys school, and they do fuck their clients. But that's a different anime. This one is.
Oh wait, it's an all boys school.
It's an all boys school, and they do fuck their clients.
So it's just
yes,
boys
it's
fucking
very
boys,
gay.
huh?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure before I went.
Yeah, no. This one. So in like the BL community, BL stands for boys love.
Mm-hmm.
In Japan it's
the
catered
other really
mostly.
problematic one was the brother love.
Oh yeah.
The twins.
We'll get to them.
Okay. You know you just keep going. I have faith that you'll cover it all in due
time. Oh yeah. So fucking basically it's catered towards straight female readers or viewers or what have you. Like that's the primary audience. So they're monopolizing on that. These characters within the show are monopolizing on these tropes that women find attractive, i.e. the Lolita type, i.e. the tall stoic guy, the cool kid with the glasses. He's not really cool, but that's what they categorize him as. They call him the cool type. I don't see anything cool about what's his face, but anyway, funny enough, he's actually voiced by the same dude that does Tenya Ida. So they're these stereotypes for a reason, and it's the same thing with the twins. Like it's a persona. As the anime progresses, you realize that it's a persona that each of them are putting on in order to entice and satisfy clients of the host club. Does that make sense?
Oh, so like none of them are actually like that.
Up for debate. Oh. It's up for debate, I guess.
Okay.
The story is that the main dude, the blonde guy, right? Damn, I can't believe I fucking finished this anime like a week ago. All their names are gone.
But it doesn't matter.
So the main dude, like, he started the host club, and he gave each person like their personality type, but like, yeah, like he like assigned each one of them. He's like, oh yeah, like you guys could play into like the whole taboo brotherly love relationship, and like Nick, they really go for it. It's crazy. But like out of the host club, they still act that way. It's not like they dropped the facade, and there's like plenty of times where like they're waking up in the morning and they're in the same bed and shit, so
weird.
Yeah. It's wild. It's a wild ride.
What is like where does this lead them along the way? Like how? What's the
like? What is the plot?
Yeah. Well, where does this go?
Well, okay. So
is it
Haruhi,
like drama filled? Is it like
yes? It's slice of life.
Okay.
It's high school antics. So Haruhi, the main character, who I really want to talk about because I didn't remember. Like I watched this 10 years ago when I was in high school,
right? But
not all the way through, and I didn't remember like what the fucking deal was. Mm-hmm. So the first episode when they like walk in on this crazy fucking host club and meet these kids, they end up breaking like this incredibly expensive vase, mm-hmm. and so the kids are like, well, you have to be part of the host club now to pay off your debt. You gotta be a gigolo with us. And Haruhi's wearing a male uniform, like a male school uniform, or like maybe not a uniform. They're wearing something, and like it's assumed that he's a dude. And then throughout the episode, bullshit happens, and like each character ends up interacting with him like personally.
Right.
And as each of them do that, it shows like a little light bulb going off in their head. And then at the end of the episode, I think like tea gets spilled on him or some shit, and they're like, oh, we have an extra uniform, but this is the only one, you're gonna have to make do. And he goes to change, and the main dude like walks in on him changing, and he's wearing like a bra, and he goes, Haruhi's a girl? And then his little light bulb goes off, and like from then on, it's revealed that this character is, as they put it, biologically female. So, yeah. See, this is why I love anime, because
so the little blonde boy is actually a little blonde girl.
No. The blonde kid is the main. Well, I keep saying the main guy. He's the leader of the host club.
Right.
He's a tall blonde guy.
That's actually a guy.
He's a dude. The main character, who I've been referring to as they, and whose name is Haruhi, is biologically female.
Ah, okay.
So throughout the anime, in the English version, they refer to Haruhi as he in mixed company, because they don't want anybody knowing that it's a female in the host club, because that would not be allowed, apparently. But when they're alone, they refer to them as she. I'm gonna do as, as you should when wondering what somebody's gender identity is, and just listen to what they said with their own mouth. And in the first episode, when it's revealed that they're biologically female, they refer to themselves as that, and they say, I don't think people should be judged on their sex. I don't really think of myself as a girl or a guy. So to me, that says you're non-binary. I'm referring to you as they.
I think that's fair, but back when this anime was originally, or manga probably, was originally written, especially in Japan, I don't think that was
no, definitely not.
That was not a mainstream
I'm not saying
be.
I'm not saying that that's what the author intended at all, because it definitely isn't.
Right.
For all intents
Yeah,
and purposes.
I know you weren't. I just wanted to put that out there for everyone else.
Yeah, but I think, for headcanon, they're non-binary, they're trans-mask.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. Anime can be whatever you want it to be, man. That's the beauty of it. You can interpret that shit.
And anime has been playing with gender for as long as anime has been around. There have always been these like genderless queer characters, and it's fucking great. Mm-hmm. They present as male mostly, which is why I say trans-mask, because they're trans-masculine.
Right. Going
from, biologically female to presenting more masculine, but I don't think it would be fair to be like, oh yeah, that's a trans guy either, because they never specifically asked to be called he or anything like that. And it's not that they wouldn't know to do so, because their father is actually a trans woman. There's a whole other layer to this where the main character's father is like legit. They call themselves a transvestite. I don't know what the Japanese word for it would be. And definitely, as you were just saying, at least when the manga was written, definitely 10 years ago when the shit was coming out, I don't think people were using transgender instead of transvestite or tranny as much as they are now, but so that's how they refer to themselves.
I mean, look at the movie. What the fuck is Rocky Horror? Look at Rocky Horror, dude. Like,
I mean, yes,
Transylvania transite or transvestite. Sorry,
probably.
I'm pretty sure that's what they refer Rocky has, or not? Yeah.
No, wasn't Rocky the dude? Wasn't Rocky?
No, Rocky's the monster, right?
Yeah.
No.
The hunk. The Hunkenstein or whatever. Oh my god, it's been so long since I've seen that. Jesus Christ, I'm such a terrible gay.
Dude, I want to watch it again, and then GalaxyCon is doing.
Oh yeah.
They're having Tim Curry on. They're having everybody. They're gonna all be there.
Oh, nice.
And I want to watch that. I think it's in like 2 days.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's literally 2 days from now. So.
But yeah, I mean they still refer to their dad as dad, but I know like real life trans women that I've met, that have children from before their transition, and they still get called dad, even though they are a woman. So yeah,
fair in that case.
I mean, honestly, it's whatever.
It depends on the person if they're okay with it, obviously.
Right. It's whatever you want. Like, if that's what you want, then that's what you want.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I think most transsexual fathers that have transitioned into women, I don't think would like scrutinize or be angry at their children for still calling them dad. You know? Like,
no. The one that
at least I hope that's not like there's nothing like that in like any community. Honestly, don't be mean to your kids. Jesus, nobody.
Yes, definitely don't be mean to your kids. But like, from what I heard from the one trans woman that I talked to about this, she had said, you know, dad is like, that's a badge of honor that I earned. You know, like. That's
fair.
That's the label I earned by doing my job as a father.
It doesn't have to be attached to a gender.
It doesn't. It definitely doesn't.
It's a parental label more. So
yeah,
that's a nice way to look at it, actually.
So
it's very nice.
So there's that. So that's cool.
Beautiful.
So we have some like vague trans representation in this anime, and then we have some like legitimate concrete trans representation in the anime, which is
fair.
Super fucking cool. Is there anything you want to know specifically?
Who's the main bad guy and when does he get beat up? You know,
doesn't exist.
I know.
The limit does not exist.
I was just messing around, really.
It got as these animes.
Is that like? What happens in the finale? Like, how does?
Okay, yeah, that's what I was going to get into.
How does it all culminate? What do these boys end up getting into that culminates into what you call a series, an anime's finale? Like, we ain't doing any more of these.
It's fucking great, dude. It's fantastic.
Well, take me on a journey. Take everyone on a journey.
So it's revealed that well, you know the whole time that like blonde. I'm gonna have to look. Because I can't just keep referring to them as like.
It doesn't matter at this point. You're so close to the home stretch. We're about
blonde
to move on
kid.
To another anime. It doesn't matter.
Blonde kid is
leader of the host club. Blonde kid.
Leader of the. Okay, Tamaki. Finally, thank you. It was bothering me. He does this thing throughout the whole anime where he refers to himself as daddy. And Glasses Kid is mommy. Haruhi is his quote-unquote daughter. But he also, like, definitely has a thing for her. And it's basically, like, the whole time you could tell this kid is, like, clinging desperately to the rest of the club as some kind of, like, makeshift family. Yes.
Yeah. Sad.
Yeah, so it's revealed that like he's an only child. His father was really rich and was in an arranged marriage. He wasn't in love with his wife. He had an affair, and Tamaki is the result of that affair.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So his grandmother fucking hates him.
A certain My Hero character I know.
Who?
Shoto.
Shoto isn't the product of an affair.
No, but
he is the product of an arranged marriage. Sure.
My brain got confused for a second.
But so fucking Tamaki is like hated by his entire family. but his grandmother is like a rich matriarch of whatever the fuck company, and she comes up and she's like, before, this is like flashback from before the anime, and she's like, if you leave your mom and come live in Japan with your father, your mom won't have to like worry about money anymore or some shit. And so he does it. He takes one for the team because he's a mama's boy. He's like tired of watching his mom starve, and he goes to Japan and he starts his little host club. And I don't know, it's like towards the end of the year, like the end of the school year, and they're doing like some weird like parents and people are like coming to the school for some shit, some festival or something. And the grandma comes, the grandma's like, hey, Tamaki, fuck your host club. It's a fucking disgrace. You're all degenerates. Here's this girl, some rich girl. If you marry her, you can see your mom again. But you have to go back to France. You have to leave. And so he's like, okay, cool, bye. I want to see mommy. And, you know, all the kids start to realize, like, oh shit, Tamaki's gone, where's he going? They see his car fly out the fucking school parking lot, and they're like, oh my god, we gotta go stop him. We can't let him go back to France. We can't let this be the end of the host club. So they run downstairs, and then like, it's difficult to explain because you didn't watch the whole anime, all 24 episodes leading up to this. But one of the kids' family has like a private security company, and for whatever reason, his dad is like in on this proposal, and so this private security company like cuts them off and is like, "We're not letting you leave." And it also just so happens.
You're the main bad guy. You lied to me.
I mean, they're all like. It's just fucking crazy. The whole thing's fucking crazy. And then it ends up that, as previously established in another episode, the small Lolita type is also like a mixed martial arts expert. So he starts just like fucking putting people down.
Oh my god. That's incredible.
And, so while like three of them stay behind and take care of those guys, Haruhi and the twins get on a horse-drawn carriage from the festival and start speeding down the highway after this kid in his convertible with his new fiance.
Oh my god.
Some shit happens, the carriage crashes, the twins land in a pumpkin patch, which is somehow symbolic because they're redheads, and like, I don't know, they had been talking about, there had been like this long running metaphor about Cinderella and when the carriage is going to turn back into a pumpkin, blah 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 blah. And I don't know, I stopped paying attention. I didn't really give a shit about how their story ended. Everybody knows these brothers are in love, and one of them was convinced that maybe they weren't in love, and then yeah. So
okay.
They get left in the pumpkin patch. Haruhi's like, fuck this, I got a man to save, and she gets back on her horse and fucking rides in like the white knight that they are. Catch up to the car. Of course, the kids aren't driving because they're too rich. They have a driver. They're in the back seat. They're on a bridge highlighted by the sunset behind him. And they start, exchanging words. Oh my god, what are you doing here? This isn't safe, blah, blah, blah. She's like, no, you gotta come back. You can't go back to France. Fuck your mom, whatever. And, I think what happens is, like, the horse carriage, like, gets tripped up on something, and she fucking goes careening off the bridge. Yeah. And, Tamaki looks at his new fiance, says something that they didn't bother to, put audio behind, and jumps off the bridge after her. And
how romantic.
He catches them in midair, and they, like, I don't think they kiss or anything, but, like, There's like a whole slow thing where they're like embracing in midair before they fall into the river.
Heavily implied.
Heavily implied, and then they go back and everybody's happy that Tamaki didn't leave. He didn't go back to France.
Tamaki's happy because he still has a lady with boobs.
Yeah, he does.
He just
well,
wanted boobs.
they're pretty flat chested, but it's fine.
I don't think he can.
He's been in love with this person for the entire fucking anime.
For 24 episodes.
For 24 episodes. 24 excruciating episodes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Some shit happens at the end where, like, their dads are talking and, like, oh, that's what happened. Okay, so Glasses Kid, whose dad owns the private security company, he's got two older brothers, right? And his two older brothers, like, the entire time, his whole story arc is, you need to impress me more than your two older brothers. But not only that, don't expect anything in return, because you've got two older brothers that are, like, ahead of taking ownership of parts of the company or whatever the fuck way before you are. Yeah, so you need to impress me more, but don't expect anything back. So that's his whole fucking arc, right? And at the end, it's like Tamaki's dad and that kid's dad talking, and his dad goes, oh, that's the reason why they were marrying this kid off. So this girl's family was gonna buy out the private security company because they're like going under or some shit. So when the engagement went through, his dad's company is like back in financial turmoil. But during this conversation, he tells Tamaki's dad, like, hey, we had a private investor come on to buy back the company, so we're not in trouble anymore. And Tamaki's dad goes, oh shit, who was it? And he goes, it was my son, Glasses Kid. Glasses Kid had enough fucking money on his own, bought his daddy's company out from under him, and then gave it back to him. And his dad straight up says, he's like, I've dangled ownership of this company in front of this kid's face since the day he was born, and he not only just bought it back out from under me, he tossed it back in my face as if it was nothing, to say, like, I don't even want it. And it was like the biggest mic drop in slice of life anime history I've ever fucking, like, it was so crazy. I was like, god damn, dude. Alright, happy ending for everybody. That's Oran High School Host Club. I highly recommend it if that's your kind of anime. It's a wild ride. It's just a wild ride.
You know what? You might have actually convinced me to watch it with you eventually.
Dude.
Not sure just yet, but
it's
there might have been some convincing in there.
I mean, if nothing else, at the very least, we could watch some of the episodes. Like, some of them are shitty. Some, like, you don't need to see all of it for sure. But, like, first episode and the last episode, why not?
I mean, that's what you just described to me, and I loved it as that, so...
Yeah.
Maybe if I fell in love with it as pilot and finale, maybe that's just how it has to live in my heart forever.
That's fine.
Pilot and finale.
Let's talk about the other thing.
Watch, I'm gonna watch the pilot, and we're just gonna be in. I'm gonna be in on it. I'm just gonna be in for the whole dang thing.
Well, if I get you to watch that, then you can definitely sit through Yuri on Ice, because it's not nearly as gay.
Really?
Yeah, no. It's a sports anime at heart.
Do they slice throats open with their sharpened skates?
It's just a sports anime. It's just about ice skating.
Oh!
That's why it's such a good gay anime, because, like, it's not about the fact that they're gay. Nobody gives a shit that they're gay. Like, nobody cares. It's never even mentioned. Nobody even says, like, oh, two guys. And, like, I've heard fan theories, and it might be canon, I don't honestly know, that the author wrote it in a alternate reality where, like, sexuality doesn't exist. Everyone's basically pansexual. So, like, it's not weird.
Huh.
And that's, honestly, that's one of the coolest things about Yuri on Ice is that, like, they're just in love and no one cares.
That's quite interesting.
Yeah. Not saying, all representation needs to be that way, because that's not the real world, and,
Get your gay reality out of my reality.
Definitely discrimination needs to be talked about, homophobia needs to be talked about,
Yeah.
but it is refreshing to see, especially in an anime where it's basically unprecedented, that two people are just allowed to be gay and in love with, no one batting an eye.
I believe, just like I had some questions for you when you finished Naruto.
I was midway through Naruto. We weren't even at the Great Ninja War.
Really?
Yeah, I remember where I was at in Naruto.
Wow.
We talked about it. But yeah, I do have questions for you. So from that episode, I think that was the first episode of MB Cast.
I think maybe.
I think it was.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it was. We rolled a die, and I made you pick an anime that you were going to start watching, and that we ended up watching together. And that was My Hero Academia.
Wait, what else was on the die?
I think you rolled a 4-sided die. It was My Hero.
Rolled a pyramid.
It was My Hero. It was Yuri on Ice. It was Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. One other thing that I can't remember. Oh, number 6.
Oh, okay.
Because I wanted to throw another gay one at you, but that's a surprise gay one where you don't realize they're gay until the very end.
Oh.
That's actually a pretty good anime.
Surprise me with the gay.
Surprise you with the gay. You think they're just two friends in a post-apocalyptic world. Turns out they're a little more than that.
Turns out they're lesbian lovers.
No, they're not girls.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Last of Us 2.
Ah.
Boom! Oh!
Is that what happens in Last of Us 2?
What?
Is that what happens?
That's the Last of Us 2, yeah. Ellie,
Nice.
the main girl, has a kissy scene with Diana, the other chick that's in the game.
Sick.
They're all in love and shit.
What do you know?
Probably. I haven't played the game. I don't know the story.
Well, we've since caught up on My Hero. You've watched all 4 seasons of the anime.
And a movie.
And the first movie. We haven't seen the second movie yet.
And a zombie special.
Isn't out yet. We did watch the zombie special.
A random zombie special.
It's fucking great. It's pretty good.
That was a little more than good.
It was pretty fucking good. You ready for your questions?
Yeah.
The first question I have here is, who are your favorite pro heroes?
Oh boy. Well, for me, personally, it's Best Genist, Fat Gum. There was this muzzled dog wolf man.
Yeah, I don't remember what I think his name is Canine, honestly. It's something dumb.
It's Canine or probably something dumb like that, yeah. And there was one other one I thought, but I don't remember who now. Oh, definitely Hawks. I'm very into Hawks.
Hawks is pretty fucking good.
I'm stupid into Hawks now.
Yeah. Hawks is...
But I feel like
cool.
that one's... He doesn't fit in with my Nick Bros.
No, he's not part... So, as we were watching this, you came up with this idea of the Nick Bros. Is that what you ended up calling them?
Yeah, but they're really dumb. But
it's a tentative title. It's a tentative title of three of the most stupid, yes, yet most powerful fucking pro heroes that at face value you don't want to take seriously, but like Best Genist. I mean, the man is covered in genes. He controls the thread of genes. What does that even mean? This man controls the thread of denim. How
he
fucking
controls
specific.
denim, man.
How fucking specific.
I think that's why they're called quirks, is because how specific their powers can be.
No, I mean, so the other part of this conversation is the fact that I'm reading the manga, and there is a canonical historical story of the word quirk, of the
Are
first
you shitting
person
me?
of the first person who used the word quirk. So we'll get to that in season 5.
All right.
The reason, but I also have the answer for the other question, which is why are these things so fucking specific? The reason for that is that they're in like the like 5th or 6th generation of quirks being a thing.
Right.
Because in this universe, people haven't always been super powered. It started with one kid, and then started becoming the new norm. Now 80% of people
started with the baby able to glow in the dark, basically.
Yeah, exactly. A bioluminescent child.
Yeah.
So, as people are having children, their quirks are getting mixed. And that is why some of this shit is becoming so specific.
Yeah, but like, what do you mix to get best? Like, I understand what you're saying, and I understand the theory behind it, but what the fuck do you mix to get best genist?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't have those answers.
Like, I can respect that. That's what the creator is trying to like say. But like, if you're gonna say that about your anime,
but then you
better have powers that make sense. Like if two people, like, okay, maybe his mom had the power to. I can't
control certain
literally
fabric.
Can't think.
And
of,
his dad had the power to control the color blue. I don't know.
Right,
I don't know, bro.
Right. Like that. That's literally what I was gonna say, but it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. You definitely shouldn't try to think about it too hard, because even the people in the anime don't know that much about it. Like, think of it as like how much we know about DNA. Like, there's so much we don't know, right?
True.
And like,
fair.
Have characters like Eri or Aerie, whatever the fuck her name is, whose parents we know didn't have any kind of powers that related directly to hers. Like, there are genetic mutations, basically, within quirks that make them increasingly complex.
And powerful in some cases.
Yeah. So...
yeah, that's fair. Okay.
There's a lot of deep lore, but we don't have to get into that. So those are the Nick Bros. Who's your favorite in Class 1A?
Did I don't know if I ever had an actual answer for this, man.
I don't know if you did either. But if you had to pick, if there's anyone that you feel like doesn't suck,
no one's had like much. Like I feel like a lot of people gravitate towards the people they gravitate towards, like Midoriya or Bakugo or Shoto as favorite characters, because those are the
big
only
three,
ones
yeah.
that have like even remotely any kind of like
character building,
real character development or building. Yeah, man.
Sure.
Like there's.
Sure. And then you got tertiary characters that have like an episode here or there, like Kirishima or Tenya or Chaco.
Yeah, then that's what I was about to say. I think I would have to probably pick. Kirishima's the hardening dude, right?
Yeah.
I think I'd go with him, honestly.
He's pretty fucking dope.
I think he's my favorite.
I do
Red
absolutely
Riot.
love him.
Red fucking Riot.
Red fucking Riot. Yeah. You told me that you liked Coda, the Fear Bowl kid.
Oh yes.
He's pretty good too.
Oh shit! I forgot about Fearbolt Kid. Yeah, he is pretty good.
He's pretty good. But,
but again, he didn't have an episode like Kirishima did. So
no,
Red Riot all the way.
And I don't know when that's coming,
will.
honestly, or if it's coming. Since we brought up Kirishima, one of my other questions here is: do you ship Kiribaku?
What?
Which is
No.
Kirishima and Bakugo.
I don't ship anybody, like ever. If the show puts two people together, great. If they don't, great. Let me watch my anime.
Fair. It's fair. Who's your least favorite character?
Oh.
You have to think about this. You groan and detest every time he fucking shows up on screen.
Well, I mean, I don't know if he's my least favorite, though. But, I guess for the sake of time, Lemillion.
Don't like Lemillion. Now, if we do have fans of My Hero Academia that are listening to this, they're gonna come at you hard and fast. So, tell me why you hate Lemillion.
Well, it was the first few episodes he was in that really threw me off on him. And I don't know exactly what
I think you also hate his character design.
Huh?
I think you also hate his character design. Like, you've complained about how much he looks like All Might.
I do hate that, yes. Like, I genuinely thought, like, when I was seeing previews for season 4 on Hulu, when I was just seeing, like, a screen cap of him and Deku standing next to each other, I was like, who is this fucking All Might wannabe? Who is this fucking guy?
I think when we originally first started watching it, when we were in season 1, like, way back, like, when we watched it in the fall, you had asked me if that was, like, young All Might.
Yeah. Because, I mean, look at him.
Yeah. No, I think, and that's purposeful, because, he was supposed to be, he was gearing up to be successor.
No, he was not. He was not gearing up.
He wasn't gearing up, but, like,
what's his name was gearing him up to be.
Yeah. Night Eye wanted him to be. And I mean purposefully, as in, like, obviously he doesn't, like, make himself look like All Might, but, like, character design-wise, I think the creator wanted him to resemble All Might to make it...
I think if they had went literally any other way with how he looks even slightly, I would like him more.
Like, if he wasn't blonde.
I don't know. No, I don't even think it's the blonde that bothers me. Maybe it's the eyes.
He also he has weird eyes.
It might be
compared to the other character. He doesn't have he's only
now
irises.
Now I'm thinking about his character design, and I like his cute little face.
He does have a cute little face, especially when it's the only thing popping out of a wall.
Well, not anymore.
No. Spoilers for season 4.
Fucking idiot.
Quirk no more.
Has to be a hero, didn't he? Had to be a hero.
It was either that or let Eerie get shot, which, you know, in retrospect, probably wouldn't have been a bad thing.
Yeah.
If she had lost her quirk, but he didn't know what the bullet was. He thought it was just, like, you know, regular bullet.
Oh, that's also pretty fair.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite female character? Because My Hero Academia is pretty fucking good about their female characters not sucking or being overly sexualized.
I do. I don't remember who now.
Is it the chick from third year? Najiro?
She's pretty cool. She's my favorite female character.
There's Dragon Lady.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah, I think
she's got a
Dragon
difficult name to
Lady
remember.
is my favorite hero.
Hell yeah.
female hero. But like, if you're asking me for like a female character, she's hardly a character on the show.
Yeah,
like,
no, definitely.
I can't have Dragon Lady be my answer to that. So, Momo. I'm gonna go.
Momo's fucking dope.
Momo's
a solid answer.
I don't know why, but I like
Momo.
No,
it's because she's cool. Because she's fucking cool. Because she doesn't suck, but she's like still kind of humble.
And hot.
And hot.
There's the hotness factor.
She's hot too, but like not like fan servicey, creepy hot. Just
hot enough.
Body positivity. Doesn't give a fuck. It just is hot.
Right.
Do you have any predictions for season 5?
I already told you, All Might's gonna die.
That is, yeah.
You heard it here first. All Might's gonna fucking die.
Certainly does feel that way. Certainly does feel that way.
Is gonna kick the bucket. He's gonna get offed, man.
I mean, we know it. We know for a fact he is.
If it doesn't happen in 5, I'm telling you, it's coming in 6.
It's coming. We know it will happen on screen in this anime.
It's either season 5 or season 6. He's a fucking goner. He's done.
We know that for a couple of reasons. We know it, one, because they keep saying that he's gonna die.
He fucking keeps saying he's gonna die.
He does keep saying he's gonna die, and we know it also because this anime is very, very, very much based on Naruto. Terribly, terribly, terribly based on Naruto.
Yeah, so many reading ahead in the manga.
So many things. So many things.
He's
just
found
ripped.
Some things pop up recently that.
You want to talk about Oboro?
No.
Okay. We don't have to talk about
too
Oboro.
Much detail. Well, I want to get back to more questions because these are good. But
those are all my questions.
Oh well, I guess we'll talk about Naruto references then.
Well, yeah, let's talk about Naruto references. But first of all, I want to say we definitely know fucking All Might is gonna die because they gotta get that Jiraiya scene in there. They gotta.
Right.
They gotta do it. They gotta stick him full of stuff.
I feel like Shonen Jump is almost becoming formulaic, which is not great.
No.
Definitely not fucking great.
No. It's I you know what, I've thought about that too. It's like anime's version of the hero's journey, but it's not like you can't use the hero's. Do you know what the hero's journey is?
Yeah.
Like
yes.
The formula for like
the
character building
in literature and writing, and yes, I know.
It starts with like the call to adventure. You don't want to go. Yeah, you go anyway.
I just said yes.
No, I know. I wasn't explaining it. I was just explaining it in general.
I gotcha.
One of the earliest examples and easiest examples to use is the Odyssey. The Hobbit is also another really good example, and Harry Potter, Star Wars, pretty much any like Western story you can think of follows that arc. And yeah, as I'm watching more of this shonen anime, there is definitely a fucking formula for this shit. Dead parents is almost always part of it. We don't have that in My Hero Academia, though. That is a deviation.
Well,
both of his parents are alive. But usually dead parents, or at least dead mom. At the very least. Rival. There's always got to be a rival. There's always got to be some kind of, like, organization type thing that the protagonist is trying to get into. Mm-hmm. There's always, like, a test at the beginning. Some kind of test to get into the organization. There is always a bad guy. A lot of the times they are all in the same high school. Not always, but it's a pretty big anime trope that it's like, this is the number one high school for insert thing here in Japan.
Gifted youngsters.
Yeah, exactly. There's 1,001 examples of high school based animes, shonen animes, any kind of anime. Bunch of them are in high school. Yeah. Oh, and then obviously, the whole master pupil thing, and then the master's gotta die at some point throughout the anime.
Yeah. Some classic tropes.
Classic tropes. Is there anything that stuck out to you in your mind that was like specifically Naruto-esque?
No, and I think it's mostly because I am not as fresh off of a full 3-month Naruto binge as
That's
you
fair.
are.
That's fair.
You're still seeing it in like everything.
That's fair. That's
and
true.
I've taken enough of a step back from it at this point that because I'm done. I finished it. I'm caught up to where Boruto is dubbed. I don't need to be watching Naruto constantly anymore. Thank God. Because I literally feel like I started that shit up 10 years ago and just finished it earlier this year. And I know it's just because I don't do a classic binge style like most people do. I spread my shit out over very long periods of time. And I think back when I started watching, around the time I moved to Florida originally, not all of Shippuden was dubbed yet. So I was waiting for Shippuden to be finished, even in Japan. It wasn't even done yet.
Mm-hmm.
Shippuden was still going, so it did take me a lot longer, but for the reason that, I was watching it as it was happening still.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't even remember what my original point was, to be real with you.
Well, that you're too far removed from Naruto to recognize any Naruto.
Oh yes, in My Hero or any other anime. I can't see the connections, but when Ray points them out, I definitely see them.
I mean, before this most recent one that I discovered in the manga that's really got me fucked up, I don't think they were that obvious. There are little things.
No, they definitely weren't. But the one that you described to me earlier today, the one that you found in the manga, the one
Should we talk about it?
We're beating around right now.
We're gonna talk about it.
It's so blatant. I'm kind of shocked, and I almost hope it doesn't make it into the show. But
that's how I. No, it's a main plot point.
I know
it's going in the show.
Saddens me. Go ahead. Tell the people what they might not already know.
So, if you don't read the manga, I apologize. Maybe stop listening. I guess I don't know.
This is going to be wrapping up here soon either way, so
yeah.
Now would probably be a good point to stop listening. I already plugged next week's Shark Week episode, so if you're sick of hearing us and you don't want to know what's coming in My Hero Academia, get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out here. But anyway,
we'll give you 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoiler time.
So the one that I just recently read this morning, I think it's chapter 240 something. Aizawa, their main teacher, Eraserhead, is taken out of class, and he gets brought to the main villain prison. Him and President Mike, and the cops are briefing them on somebody that they just recently took into custody, and they're explaining to them how the animoos work and how that animoos are basically dead people reanimated and they have a bunch of other quirks and shit shoved into them, and all sorts of weird, gross Orochimaru-esque experiments happening.
I didn't want to know all that.
Huh?
That was a little too spoilery even for me.
Oh, man. Well, here we go.
Oh, God.
So, fucking, they get there, and I won't tell you. This is what I won't tell. I won't tell you who it is.
Just go ahead.
But they're...
Oh, wait, you won't tell me what now?
I'll tell you who they used to be, but I won't tell you who they are currently. So, they're...
Oh, well, now I already know!
No, you don't.
Just by you saying that!
What do you mean?
You won't... You'll tell me who they used to be, but you won't tell me who they are currently. That means I already know who they are currently, which means it can only be one person.
Who?
It's fucking Handface Man.
Nope. No, it's not.
No?
No. It's not. So they introduced this character, Obero. Okay? Obero.
Oh, is it maybe the kid that we thought was, Shoto's brother?
No, it's not Dabi.
Oh, okay.
I still fully believe that kid is Toya Todoroki, but
I really hope
as far as I know, that's not confirmed in the manga.
As far as you know.
So basically, they do this little flashback, and present Mike, Eraserhead, and this kid Obero, whose quirk I have not learned yet. I just read this morning. They're all friends when they were in high school at UA, obviously, and they were on like a work study together, and this fucking kid gets crushed by like, I don't know, some rubble or some shit. And basically the connection to Naruto that I'm making is Obito. So for those of you that don't know, Obito is a character who's friends with Kakashi Sensei, who is also like been tied to Aizawa in like his weird stoiciness and like the fact that he keeps half of his face covered all the fucking time, like it's the kid's main teacher. Like there's already ties between these two characters.
It gets so much deeper than that.
What do you mean?
Like, you keep telling them because the connections get like more. There's a lot more.
So this kid dies in the same fucking way that Obito dies. They both get crushed to death.
Right.
Both characters are notorious for wearing goggles.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of Obito giving his Sharingan to Kakashi as he dies, this kid gives Eraserhead his goggles. I don't remember if there's anything else that I told you, but
yeah, I feel like there's at least one more similarity, but I don't remember. He got
just
crushed.
Just the name itself is like...
Oh, and that he's,
Oh, yeah. You thought he was dead, but he's still alive, and he's
thought he was dead, but he's still alive, and, you know, he used to be a good guy, and now, guess what? He a bad guy.
Yeah. It's literally Obito.
It is quite literally Obito.
Absolutely fucking insane. But, yeah, so that's that. A lot of cool shit coming in season 5. Pretty excited about it.
Death, love, betrayal.
A lot of betrayal. A lot of cool shit with the League of Villains, and a lot of cool shit with Pro Heroes. Not a whole lot of lame shit with the kids. So,
hey,
definitely enjoying how that's going. I mean, don't get me wrong. I definitely had to read like 10 or 12 chapters of fucking filler of children like doing like training exercises at the school. It was god awful. But I'll assume that would probably take maybe 1 or 2 episodes at the most, and the rest of it's just gonna be like.
I have to exclaim my excitement right now. I am playing the last 2 hours of Pokemon Go 2020 Go Fest. I turned on my phone. I dropped an incense while we're finishing out the last few minutes of this episode, just catching some last minute Pokemons. And a shiny Alolan Marowak
Wow.
popped up on my screen, and I am a happy boy right now. Sorry.
I don't think we'll hit a higher note than that.
I'm sorry. I'm so ecstatic.
No, I think it's great. I think that's a great place to call it.
I didn't know if you sounded like you were right in the middle of something when I jumped into that. But...
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So thanks for listening to all 2-ish hours. It'll probably be a little less than 2 hours when it's all edited.
A little less than 2 hours of this cast.
Beautiful extravaganza.
We'd like to thank our guests, Charles and Michael.
Join us next time. God knows
next time for our Shark Week.
Yeah, hell
episode.
Yeah. When does Shark Week actually start?
August 9th.
I'm pretty excited about the 2 dicks. Sharks have 2 dicks episode.
Jesus,
Shark Week.
How could you not be, man? It's the commercial they're running the most.
Yeah. Well, all that for next time.
Yes. Join us. If you will.
If you dare.